Hey, it's Coach Ernest from Mississippi Public Broadcasting Online, U.S. history from 1877 to present. Today we're going to pick up with unit number 7, the Roaring Twenties. And lesson number 6, the Roaring Twenties, with a big old question mark at the end of it down there. Because one of the things that we have to understand that history is about perspective. You know, what's good for some people or what some people seem or deem to be good may not be, of course, the same, of course, when you look at it through somebody else's lens. And when you look at the 1920s, one of the two things that you're going to see in this particular interactive activity that we're going to have you complete in a few moments, that when it came to the 1920s, for some people it was roaring. For some other people, it wasn't, maybe not quite as roaring. In terms of, instead of being roaring, it was more of a moan than a roar. So when you look at the 1920s, what we want you to do, of course, is to look at it through two lenses. Now, in this interactive activity, what we want you to do, of course, is to view the video, of course, that accompanies it. And in looking at this interactive activity, of course, the video will give you some insights in terms of what different people's perspective was and why they had the perspective, of course, that they had. If you were white, middle class, or upper class in the United States of America, your view, of course, of the 20s, of course, was significantly different than if you were a minority, of course, in the 1920s. So what we want you to do, of course, is at this time, we want you to pause. We'll take a pause and we'll allow students time to access the video and the video description on the Roaring Twenties. After accessing the video, students, you should view the video and then answer the questions that are aligned with the video. Upon completion of the activities, you should convert your work into a PDF file so that it can be turned, of course, into your teacher so that it can be graded. So at this time, what we'll do, of course, is allow you the opportunity to go through and navigate there, complete the activities, and remember, once again, once you've completed it, convert it to PDF, turn to your teacher for graded. And then we'll come back in a few minutes and we'll give you some closing thoughts about the Roaring Twenties question mark. When we looked at the 1920s, we told you there would be some different viewpoints in terms of how people, of course, viewed it. I think one of the things that that PBS Learning Media does in this particular interactive activity is they gave you the perspective, of course, somebody that lived the 1920s and was a prominent writer in the 1920s with F. Scott Fitzgerald, who wrote The Great Gatsby. His idea of the 20s, of course, was significantly different than a person, of course, of color that sees it during her time, of course, in the 1980s, and that's Cicely Tyson, who's one of America's most acclaimed black actresses. Now, when Fitzgerald says that the 20s, of course, was roaring, she said it wasn't roaring for some people. For some people, of course, it was a difficult time. And so what we want you to do, of course, is to see it from different perspectives. We hope you enjoyed the activity from PBS Learning Media. It is a very good resource. We hope, of course, that you enjoy, you know, navigating to their site, of course, and looking at their material as much as I do. This is Coach Anderson from Mississippi Public Broadcasting once again. We would like to take this opportunity to tell you once again, like we always tell you, don't take my word for it, do your own research and reach your own conclusion. And with that, we'll see you next time.